Hi guys, so I originally had recorded the first half of this video and so my iPad ended up crashing and that wasn't very fun whatsoever, so I lost all of the process for the white hair in general, but thankfully I got enough of the black hair, which is all of it, that I could explain it in the way that the white hair would end up getting done as well. But until then, enjoy the time lapse. So here is where I had enough time to gather the information that I needed to get for this picture. So in order to get that black color, you don't pick black specifically, you pick something sort of like an off black. Same with white, you pick an off white, then you pick a darker color than that, but you shift the scale towards more of a colder shadow. And what I did here for the highlight is take that background color and put it in places where I wanted the highlight to be. Now I'm taking my blending brush and moving it back and forth along those highlights and shadows in order to make the shapes that I want to make. So now I'm going ahead and taking this layer and duplicating it as a group, and here I'm just going to be doing a little bit more refining. What I am doing is taking that darker color and I'm applying it both to the top and bottom of that highlight. For some reason it just looks really nice against that highlight, on black hair especially. It also looks very nice on white hair, so taking a little bit of that darker color and putting it, you know, smushed, like it's mushing that highlight color a bit more. And then I'm adding it to the other side where that part in the hair is. And yeah, just doing a little bit more refining. That's mostly what it ends up getting down to, is just a refining process. So what I'm doing here is taking a brighter highlight. Because of what I did with the white hair, I had used a bright white highlight for that too. I decided I'm going to do the same thing for this and then blend it out with my blending brush that I had custom built for myself. So here what we are doing is adding to them some of those hair strands, you know, those pesky little flyaway hairs that come with every single hairstyle, regardless as to what hairstyle you have. So instead of leaving it as that blocky pencil mark that I've got going on, that's just a complete eyesore, just adding a little bit of those wispies definitely helps to make it look more like cohesive hair. And yeah. So this is another thing that is very important for black and white hair, is that whenever you look at black hair or white hair, you're going to notice that it kind of blends in with that of the skin, almost as if it's reflecting it. So the thing about black and white hair is how hyper reflective they are. So it's going to take that color around it and put it in itself, sort of like building that pigment that it's lacking. Well, the black has the pigment, however, the white does not. But it just makes it look a little bit more cohesive if you have a little bit of that warm color in there to just blend the face and that hair together. What I'm taking is that highlight color and I'm making small hair-like strands to make it look more like hair and less like wet hair. So doing that, and then eventually I'll be blending that in as well.
Like a tidal wave, you came crashing down.
I had realized whenever I had put in that skin color that I lost a lot of that shadow underneath that would have been cast by that piece of hair just right above that side piece. I believe they call it the money piece of hair. So I decided to add back those shadows where the money pieces are, and in that specific area under the money piece, even next to the chin. And yeah, it just kind of needed to have that shadow put back in there. I'm taking some of that highlight now and placing it along the edge of the hair, so making sort of like a rim light for the hair. So the same thing that I had done with the top white hair process was add a secondary light source. I just feel as though any hair type looks better with a secondary light source. So I went ahead and decided on this really, really light purple, this fluorescent light purple, and decided to apply it to about the same it's about the same direction as what I did with the previous one as well. I had originally gone in with broader strokes, however I decided to add in some of those key thinner strokes that just adds a lot more detail to the hair, especially when it comes to this secondary highlight. Just like with the initial highlight, it's got those water-like squiggles based off of my blending brush. The same thing applies here when applying a secondary light source. I'm preparing to make a new layer in order to put some of that secondary highlight on the face itself. It's not necessary in terms of like this specific piece. However, I felt it would look nicer if I added that secondary highlight on the face as well. So here I realized that my last step would end up getting cut off, so I decided that I needed to shift all of the other heads over in order to make her fit. I didn't want to cut off any bits of the hair, considering it's also part of the piece itself. So yeah, you're gonna just have to watch me shift it because I couldn't edit it out of the video with iMovie, unfortunately. So whenever we come back, we're going to be adding a layer and the multiply. It's not the multiply layer, but the blending mode for the layer is add, and what we're doing with that is just basically adding some more of that purple back into it and making it like actually glow, because now we've got a little bit of that like I'm here kind of glow, but I'm not like boom like a flashlight glowing. So that's what that specific layer is going to do. Then after that, we add a soft light of a small blue, add some of that multiply in by giving us those darker shadows, such as what I did with the white hair as well. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video.
Invincible.
So let me know what you guys think. If you've got any ideas for another tutorial I can make, please let me note down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.